Well, hey everyone, we are here with our next video in our viewer question and answer series. We're here with Linda from Florida. We're going to give a shout out to her dad, Ralph. I love it. That was not to compare, that was my dog's name. So I have a very fond affinity for the name Ralph. I just love it. So, hey Ralph, she said he watches these videos as well. So that's super fun for me. Well, go ahead. What is your first question for me?
Okay, my first question is, I kind of was just looking online and saw that you could buy urns and caskets online.
Yeah.
Most of the places say they ship only to funeral homes, and I was just wondering why. Is there some reason they just ship to funeral homes, why they don't ship to people's houses, urns? Or I understand the casket thing, but I was just wondering about the urn.
You know, I haven't even looked into some of that. I've not seen that they don't ship to personal residents. I'm wondering if maybe some of it is they're only selling to businesses, like they're only selling to a commercial business, that it's not for sale for like a private, like not going on Amazon and ordering an urn.
Yeah, if you look on Walmart.com, they'll have them.
I'll have to look at that. And so Walmart will not ship to your home?
No, they'll just ship to the funeral home, which, I don't have a problem with. I was just wondering if there was a reason why.
No, because I find that odd, since a lot of people have the cremation in like months down the road or even years down the road, they will go back to purchase an urn, especially. So it's interesting to me that they would almost force a family to put the funeral home kind of in the middle, because there's, every state, you don't even have to go through a funeral home. You can just use a cremation society. You do it all online, and then they ship you the cremated remains right to your house. So you never actually go to a business. So it's interesting that Walmart wouldn't ship to a person's home, because in that case, there's not even a physical location that the family has even visited. So I feel like I need to call Walmart and ask them. See what they say. That's a good question, though. I will look into it and see what I can find on it, because I have not encountered that yet, which is odd. So I'll have to look into that for you.
Okay. Are you ready for my next question?
Yeah, go for it.
My sister passed away in 2012, and I was living in West Virginia at the time, and I flew back home down here to attend the funeral. And the evening of the viewing, I asked the funeral home if they could fax a copy of her obituary to a local online newspaper up there that doesn't charge anything for putting in the obituary. And they wanted to charge me $60 to do that. So I just decided, forget that, and I copied it and pasted it. I copied it out of our local newspaper and pasted it into an email to go to the newspaper in West Virginia. Why do they charge so much for that?
There shouldn't be any charge for that. So when it comes to cash advance items, when a family has, like if you're sitting and you're working with a funeral director on the contract, you're going to have a cash advance items section. Those are items that the funeral director is hiring out. He's kind of the middleman for, like the cemetery, the burial vault company, the obituaries, the death certificate. So they're fees that we don't set the price of. We are just incurring those costs right up front, and then you're paying us back essentially. If those have an asterisk next to them, that means that charge has been increased, that the funeral home is adding a fee to that charge.
Okay.
So they have to, by law, let you know if that number is not exactly passed forward and that they're charging a fee on it.
Okay.
But there would have been like a one-time fee for writing the obituary and submitting it. That just seems greedy to charge $60 to fax something if they've already written it. If it was something that was already run in another newspaper, literally all they were doing is printing it off and faxing it, or even cutting and pasting it or attaching a Word document and emailing it. So had they already written it and they just literally were going to have to pass it on, or?
Yes, her husband had made all the funeral arrangements before I even came down. It was just an afterthought to me. So I thought, okay, well, I understood, they're a business and they have to make money and everything. So I just decided to copy it off of the local newspaper's website and paste it into an email.
Which is exactly what, the funeral director should have done to serve the family. That seems a bit greedy. I don't know any other word for it, to charge $60 to do that. I could see maybe saying, okay, just for my time, I'm going to charge you $25, or.
See, I would have been happy to pay that.
But $60 seems a lot of money for something that would literally take 2 minutes.
Okay.
That's,
okay.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. Okay, and my last question is, my boyfriend and I have been together for 7 years, and his mother died a few years ago, and his father's had some health problems, and he's probably not going to be around much longer. And we, neither one of us have any inkling of getting married. But he was wondering if he were to pass away, could I make his funeral arrangements since we're not married, or does another member of his family have to do it? Or the same with me, if I pass away, can he make it, or does my parents or somebody have to make it?
So it all depends on the state you live in and what's available there. So in Florida, I'm going to have to double check what the laws are there, and then I'll get it to you afterwards, because every state is a little different. So like in Michigan, just a good example, I cannot request cremation for myself. Some states you can request your disposition, but in Michigan, a next of kin in a lineage of next of kin has to authorize it, or we now have a designation form. So I could go to the funeral home, say, I want Linda Simmons to be my designee. And then at the time of my death, you are the only person who can come in and say what they are doing with my body. My family has no say. So if Florida has a designation law in place, that is what you'll want to do, is both of you fill that out for each other so that you have it in place. Unless there's common law marriage in your state, and
there isn't. Yeah.
We don't have that here as well. So it's always hard to sit with somebody that they've been together 30 years or 40 years, but they just never got married, and tell them they have no legal rights to decide what happens to their partner if the children who are adults want something different. And it's just a horrible situation. Kind of like, same gender couples, until marriage was legal, that there was just no rights in those situations. It was very sad to have to say, I'm sorry, but you don't get a say here. The other next of kin legally does. So it's nice that some things have evolved finally.
Yes.
States, but I will find out. I'll touch base with some Florida funeral directors after our video, and I'll put the information at the end of this video so that we have for your state what that is. So I think it's important to know.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course. That was 3.
It was 3.
3. Sometimes these are so fast. I'm like, ooh, I feel like I whizzed on through them. Well, cool.
You're so busy. I didn't want to take a lot of time. So
no, you did great. Those are perfect. I'm still surprised. Nobody's asked me the same question twice yet. So I'm
good.
And I've hardly posted any of these videos. I've shot a lot of them. I just need to get editing on them so I can start posting them more. So it's been good. Nobody's asked me the same thing twice, and I love it. And everybody's vocation is kind of driving questions, and like your relationship situation. And so there's such a variety of questions people are asking, which has been really nice.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Linda. Yeah. Bye, guys, and I'll see you later.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.